Video, ever since the COVID started, the coronavirus and everything that's been going on, I've had this strong message in my heart, and I haven't expressed it, and it's just been building and building to the point where I just want to express it. So I want to start off by saying it's not political at all. It has nothing to do with politics, although I do feel that the coronavirus at times has been a little politicized. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But this isn't political at all for me. It's a spiritual perspective, and the whole point of my video is that I want to shine a light on our inner power. I just feel like in general in society, a lot of people have just completely been disconnected and lost sight of how much power we have to shape our own lives, to influence our health, everything. There was so much power within us. And so that's what this whole video is going to be about. Not only the power within us, but specifically when we align our inner power, meaning our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions are energy in motion. All of that is so powerful, along with our actions, our words, our lifestyle. All of that is so powerful. But specifically when we align our inner power with the highest that is within us, meaning, the highest, meaning when we align ourselves completely with thoughts, with thinking and seeing in ways that are loving, that are kind, that are humble, that are understanding, compassionate, when we align ourselves with the purest goodness, what we're capable of, and how much power we truly have, and that we don't need to give our power away anymore to fear-based programming, to limitations, to believing in limitations, and to discounting how powerful we are inside. So this video is just really, I just want to shine such a bright light of inspiration and optimism and hope on how powerful we are. So I just want to touch briefly on the media, just for a short bit. I want to say, first of all, that I don't watch the news. And there's a reason I don't watch the news. Whenever I do turn on the news, it doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel good when I watch the news. The messages of the media are not empowering. I feel powerless when I watch the media. I feel scared. I get anxious. I don't like how I feel. And that's because from a completely neutral perspective, the media's messages, it's a fear-based narrative. It truly is. It's not trying to make people feel better. Like there's so many different ways that we could have reported about the coronavirus. We're not being told how many people are getting it and recovering just fine, or how many people, get it and just have mild to no symptoms. We're not being told of anything that we can do in our own personal power to affect our health or our immune system, like getting sunshine or exercise, eating healthy foods. And we're definitely not told anything about the influence that our emotions have on our body, and science actually backs this, and I will talk about that in a little bit, but we're not being told any of that. We're simply being told how many people are dying, and that all we can do is wear a mask, stay away from others, and that's all we can do. And it truly, like, even just from the beginning, I mean, there was so much panic created from the media's messages, the 24/7 coverage. I mean, you couldn't even go out and hardly buy toilet paper or eggs, or, I mean, all the food was sold out. People were scared. That is the media's message. And so, I just want to, from a completely unbiased perspective, no matter how you slice it, if you're going to be honest, the media's message is a fear-based narrative. And that in itself, maybe we need to question, because it doesn't tell us at all about our inner power. So one thing that I feel like one of the biggest issues that we're having right now in society is just that we've completely lost touch with how powerful we are. And I also feel that there is a lack of faith. And so when I say faith, what do I mean by faith? I mean faith in life, faith in the good, faith that if we align ourselves with the highest that is within us, again, with the highest goodness that is within us, that life is going to be on our side. We have to have faith in that. Like for me, it's an unshakable faith. I know that when I align myself with that, with the highest, that life is on my side. We have to believe that there is order to life, and meaning that life isn't just some random thing. You just roll the dice and that's it. That you can like be thinking pure thoughts and doing good and living from your heart, and you're going to go outside and just randomly, be vulnerable to a virus and die. Like, life isn't random. It truly isn't. And anyone who truly looks within themselves, does self-reflecting, becomes more aware of their thoughts, their beliefs, if they're holding fear or negativity, and how that affects your circumstances, how that affects how others respond to you. Our thoughts are so powerful, and anyone that does any true introspection can see that relationship. Life is not random. We are creators. Our thoughts are creative. Our thoughts, yeah. So life isn't random. So for me, like with this whole thing, it's just bothered me right from the start. I've never once been afraid of getting the coronavirus. And again, it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm younger or that I'm healthy, because you can be an older person, and even with a risk factor of being overweight or whatever, that's really not the most powerful thing. What is most powerful, more powerful than any outside, is your inner power, your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and again, specifically when we're aligned with the highest that is within us. And there's actually science to back this. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, so first of all, I just want to say, that I just have this unshakable faith in the power of goodness, in the power of love, that love is all healing, all conquering. As cheesy as that would sound, I believe so strongly in the power of love and the power of good when we align ourselves with that and what we're capable of. So one thing I've read so many wonderful life-changing books in my life, and I want to read a few of these, just a little quotes. So the first book, real quick, is, I can't read it because it's backwards, but it's called From Poverty to Power. And this book, I've probably read it 10 times. I'll talk about it in a second. I'm just going to read a couple quotes from it, and then I'll get back to talking. But this book says, James Allen, he writes the book, he says, think joyful thoughts. Think loving thoughts. Let the elixir of goodwill course through your veins, and you will need no other medicine. He says, there is no protection to compare with goodness. And by goodness, I do not mean a mere outward conformity to the rules of morality. I mean pure thought, noble aspiration, unselfish love, and freedom from vainglory. To dwell continually in good thoughts is to throw around oneself a psychic atmosphere of sweetness and power that leaves its impress upon all who come into contact with it. As the rising sun puts to rout the helpless shadows, so are all the impotent forces of evil put to flight by the searching rays of positive thought which shine forth from a heart made strong in purity and faith. I'm going to read just a little bit more. Where there is sterling faith, because again, faith is something I feel that we're lacking right now. Just a faith in the goodness, a faith in our inner power, a faith in a faith in God. I don't like to be religious, because I feel like even the word God can be misunderstood. We can't, the infinite we can't box it in with just one word. But to me, there is some overruling power of this universe that's also deep within each one of us, of love, and it's more powerful than anything. So anyway, we have to believe in it. So where there is sterling faith and uncompromising purity, there is health, there is success, there is power. In such a one, disease, failure, and disaster can find no lodgment, for there is nothing on which they can feed. And this is the last thing I'm going to read from this. Even physical conditions are largely determined by mental states. And to this truth, the scientific world is rapidly being drawn. The old materialistic belief that we are what our body makes us is rapidly passing away and is being replaced by the inspiring belief that we are superior to our bodies and that our bodies are what we make them by the power of thought. It's so powerful. So again, these aren't the messages, though, that you're hearing on the media. All we're being told is how many people are dying, stay inside, wear your mask. And we're not being told of our inner power, which it's greater than anything on the outside, truly. Every moment we are sending forth the influences that will make or mar our life. Let your heart grow large, loving, and unselfish. So again, just me believing in the power of goodness. And I'm not living in fear. Nobody needs to live in fear. This power that's within us, our thoughts, our beliefs, we've been giving it away to fear-based programming. And I just want to hopefully bring clarity to how powerful we are. So that being said, and this is probably a question or a thought that a lot of people are wondering, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But that doesn't mean just because, you do your best to align yourself with the highest that's within you, that you're never going to get sick. Because that's not true either. And I'll explain in just a minute. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So anyway, I'm talking about how powerful goodness is and how powerful love is. And it sounds like a wonderful thought, but is there actually science to back this? There totally is. More and more recently, in the past few years, but it's not talked about on the media, there is so much science backing that our emotions actually change our biochemistry. So one guy that I follow on Instagram, his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Some of you might be familiar with him, and some may not. But he's a brilliant man. He's a neuroscientist. He's a chiropractor, and he's just a researcher. And he's done so much research on how elevated emotions literally change our biochemistry. Elevated emotions like joy, just pure joy, love, care, compassion. When we're in these elevated emotional states, our entire biochemistry changes. I don't know all the science. I wish I could throw out all the science, but I'm just going to say general terms, but our immune system is strengthened, and we just become healthier, and our body knows what to do to heal itself when we're in these elevated states versus when we're in states of fear or anger or any of the lower vibrations, just divisions, just seeing that instead of seeing that we're all connected and wanting to understand each other, even when we have differences of opinion. Anyway, if you give in to the division, the polarity, the hate, the unkindness, the fear, all of that affects our immune system negatively, and we're more susceptible to, that's when we welcome in, diseases. So it's not so much what's on the outside, the viruses, the pathogens that are out there. There's germs everywhere, and there always is going to be, but the deciding factor in the health of your body isn't from the outside, it's from your own vibration. So it's from your emotions, which stem from your thoughts and your beliefs. Dr. Joe, couple things I wanted to say about him. He's written New York Times best-selling books. He has 1.5 million followers on Instagram. I mean, he's a really credible dude. He's written You Are the Placebo. He's written Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Such a powerful book. I read that book. He wrote another New York Times best-selling book, Becoming Supernatural, How Common People Are Doing the Uncommon. And I watch his Instagram all the time, and he has testimonials of people doing things that the mainstream media and our medical system totally say are impossible. People recovering from stage 4 cancers without medicine, without chemo, without radiation, without surgery. People that have had strokes and been blind for long periods of time, years. All of a sudden, when they do the inner work and they truly change from within, they change their vibration, they change their thinking and their beliefs, they let go of of any of the negativity that they've been holding on to, old stories from the past, or they forgive or whatever. They truly change, and it's amazing. Miracles happen. We literally have the power of God within us, and we've just become so distanced from that, and we've discounted it so much, and we've given our power away to limiting programs and fear-based programs. But things are shifting. The paradigm is shifting, where now we can't just look for solutions on the outside, because everything starts from within. Everything starts from within. Okay, so let me think. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so that being said, we don't need to live in fear. But that being said, that doesn't mean that when people do their best to align themselves with the highest that's within them, that they never get sick. I definitely get sick sometimes. I can't even tell you how many stomach aches, first of all, I've given myself, not only throughout this whole COVID situation, but just ever since I've had Solomon, my little angel, my little son. Just how many stomach aches I've had just worrying about things. I'm giving my own inner power away to fear, and I get terrible stomach aches that have lasted for days, me worrying about things. And that's just one example, but any illness is not just random, because again, nothing is random. So yeah, it doesn't mean, I'm not denying that people aren't getting sick out there, but getting sick is always, there's something you can learn about yourself. There's always a spiritual lesson in it. And every experience, even the challenging ones, are always with meaning, and always to, if we're willing to look within ourselves and realign ourselves with, like, in some way we weren't aligned with the highest. In some way we let the division or anger or fear, we got taken over by that. But it's always a lesson to realign ourselves with the highest, to get back into our heart. And when we do that, and again, just believing, and then your body will heal itself again. Because when you get into those higher vibrations, those elevated emotions of love and kindness and just heart-centered emotions, your immune system changes, your body, your biochemistry changes, and you heal. And this is something that we have to believe in with all our hearts. I believe so strongly in this. I never take medicine, because I just know when I get sick, I'm going to do the inner work. The true solution, the root is always within. Like, even if you take medicine or whatever that you do, but you're not looking within, it only treats the symptom. The root cause is always healing ourselves spiritually. It always is. So we don't need to live in fear of the coronavirus or of anything, really. We don't need to give that inner power to fear, and just we just need to keep our focus on just trying to be the best human being that we can, and continue to purify ourselves and live from our hearts, and live from a place where we're really aligned with our true self. And I can maybe talk more about that in a second. So that being said, another book that is such a life-changing book for me was Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, he's teaching these. He didn't want to be like the rest of the flock, and he's teaching these other seagulls who don't want to be like the flock either. That they just realize that there's more to life, and than what we're being told, and there's more to life than what we can see with our eyes and feel with our senses. There's more to life. There's something deeper. And I think we all know this deep down in our hearts. So anyway, there's a quote I want to read from this book. So one of the birds is asking Jonathan, he says, "Why is it, Jonathan, that the hardest thing in the world is to convince somebody that he is free, and that he can prove it to himself if he just spend a little time practicing? Why should that be so hard?" Yeah, I mean, I try to tell people, even some people in my own family, our inner power, and why is it so hard to convince people of how powerful we are and that we're free? And the reason is, sadly, is that a lot of people are so programmed and so distanced from our truest self, and that's why it can be so hard to convince people that they're free. One other thing I want to read from this book, about what our true self is. So, because these birds, they want Jonathan to stay, but Jonathan says, you don't need me any longer. You need to keep finding yourself. A little more each day, that real, unlimited, impersonal self. That's your instructor. You need to understand that and practice that. That we need to strive to understand what our true self is. This place that's unlimited, this place that is pure love and connection. I don't want to go too deep in this video, but there's our true self is something. It's not what you think you are. You're not what you think you are. I'm not just Krista Rose. I'm this body, and I'm Krista Rose. I'm a yoga instructor and a personal trainer, and that's who I am. No, what I just told you will all be gone when I die. But there's something that won't be gone when I die, and that's our true self. And we have to seek to understand what that is and to live from that place, because that's where all our true power is. So yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, we're shifting into a new paradigm right now where the solutions are not on the outside. When we're told to wear masks and stay away from other people, those are just surface level things. And the true solution to this whole issue is a spiritual one, where we all need to look within, to do more self-reflecting, to become more aware of what's within us. Are we harboring fear? And is that fear serving us, or is it limiting us? What are our thoughts about other people? Are we sending out goodwill towards others, even others that don't live life the way that we do, or that don't have the same opinions that we do? Are we sending out good thoughts, or are we, sending out the opposite of that? This whole journey in life, it's an inner journey, and this whole corona thing, the media is only telling us, just of the outside, and wear your mask, stay away from people, but yeah, the solutions are within, truly. And that's been the biggest message on my heart that I want to put out, is that we need to know how strong we are, how powerful we are when we align ourselves with the highest good, with God, with the Creator, with love, with kindness, with that. That being said, I just want to say that if you are more comfortable, though, wearing a mask and staying, inside, I'm not discouraging that. I'm not at all. If that is what makes you feel more comfortable, and if that fits with your belief system. But I do encourage anyone, though, to not just try to look for solutions to problems from just the outside, and to start looking within, self-reflecting, being more aware of what your thoughts are, what your beliefs are. And one more thing I'm going to touch real quick on beliefs. Our beliefs are so powerful, more powerful than most people realize. It's been long established, the placebo effect, where, for example, two people who are sick are given a pill. One pill is a drug that's supposed to help, and one pill isn't anything but sugar, or just some inert something. It's nothing. But there is a certain percentage of people that will heal with the pill that's not even the real drug, because they believe that it is. That's how strong our beliefs are. But that can be worked in the opposite direction too. If you're buying into all the fear and all the negativity, that belief can create a completely different, our thoughts and our beliefs create our reality. So that belief can literally create an illness within you if you believe so strongly, versus the opposite again. If you believe so strongly in this pill that's really nothing, but it's nothing, but you believe in it, your belief alone can heal you. That's, again, how strong our beliefs are and how strong our thoughts are. So I want to wrap up this video with one final thing from this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. You know, I could literally start to cry. Give me a second. I could literally, Louise has touched my life so much with her teachings. She's dead now, and maybe that's why I'm sad as well. But anyway, her teachings have truly changed my life. Yeah, her book and her teachings, she's been the biggest mentor in my life. But anyway, Louise worked with a lot of people, and she started to see patterns of certain people that thought a certain way and had certain ailments in their body, and she made this list. And I refer to this list whenever there's something wrong with my body. I look to her list, whether I've got a sore throat or a stomach ache or anything. And she lists probable thought patterns and ways that you can change your thinking and your beliefs and heal yourself. So anyway, I want to end with this final thing that she says about influenza, or, you know, flus, because it's kind of what we're going through right now with this coronavirus. And this is what Louise says. And she wrote this book in 1980 or 1982, something like that, almost 40 years ago. And her wisdom is, you know, as relevant now as it ever was, and if not even more needed now. But influenza, you know, she said, probable cause, response to mass negativity and beliefs, fear, a belief in statistics. And, you know, is that not what's going on right now with the media, spreading mass negativity and fear? Like, even from the beginning, projecting how many people were going to be infected and die. Those numbers weren't even near accurate, but the media has been spreading this mass negativity and fear. And it's really affected a lot of people, because a lot of people are programmed, and they are distanced from knowing their true self and knowing how powerful they are. And that's why I want to do this video, because that's my biggest message right now, is that we are so powerful, and we don't need to give our power to the outside. There is nothing outside of us that is greater than the power within us. Again, we have the power of the divine within us. We are divine in our deepest selves, and we need to take time to really contemplate and reflect, and we need to try to understand what our divine nature is and practice it. And that's where all healing is, all answers are, all everything comes from that place. So Louise's new thought pattern, you know, instead of, you know, response to mass negativity, fear, beliefs, her healing thought pattern is, I am beyond group beliefs. I am free from all congestion and influence. And what if humanity started thinking like that? I am beyond group beliefs. I am free from all congestion and influence. And we all started thinking like that and living from our hearts and looking from within, instead of just responding to the mass negativity and the fear. You know, we would not be in this situation, and we would be creating a different world. And a different world is being created right now, and I feel so good about it. You know, the whole point of my video right now is it's to awaken people. It's to wake you up. We are in right now the great awakening. Are you awake? Are you awake? Do you know that you are a creator? That you have so much power within you, that you don't need to give that power away anymore to fear programming or to belief in limitation, to discount your inner power. It's more powerful than anyone even realizes. So yeah, I guess that's my message for today. I hope it's one of optimism and inspiration and clarity on just we are so powerful, and when we truly align ourselves, and it's a process, we're a work in process, a work in progress. A part of me almost felt like unworthy of sharing this video because I'm far from enlightened, and I give in to my ego a lot, but I'm learning as I go. I'm learning. I'm a student of life, and I'm aiming high. I want to perfect myself. I want to purify myself and live truly from my heart and my divine self. I want to continue to manifest that into the world, and that could be all of our goals. Yeah, so a new paradigm is shifting where we're not looking to the outside, always look within. And when we align ourselves with the highest that's within us, we're absolutely unstoppable, and we have nothing to be afraid of. Sending so much love and gratitude. If this resonates with you, I know this was a long video, but if this resonates, please share it. I want this message to get out there. Yeah, please share. Give me any comments. I would love some feedback. So sending much love and gratitude.